Okay, let's go to the next page. About the section 8.1.2. It's also an example ontology development in biomedical research.
Me, I'm Xiaomi and from the University of China. I think potential stakeholders also including the people who developing data models. You have researchers, knowledge engineers, AI developers, but also the potential stakeholders in terms of ontology. Ontology is very important for semantic research or how you can researchers. I think that how to adding it's relevant to how to say now the ontology is very important for data modeling and also for semantic interpretability, improving semantic interpretability. So I think this could be also emphasized.
Okay. Thanks for your advice and comment. We will reconsider your advice. But because it's time is nervous, I can fix the document directly online. We will have a discussion offline. Okay, thanks for your advice again. We will our secretary will record your advice.
Yeah, sorry. So you can add in stakeholder and so implications. You mentioned implications to stakeholders. So improving the semantic interpretability. So you have the researchers, knowledge engineers, AI developers, or adding implications, either the data science or the data governance or what. I think it's all, so it can improve the semantic interpretability, particularly with the kind of continuum enhancing the connectivity data information knowledge. I think this is also one of very good value of your work. Thank you.
Okay.
I think rethink the term space, green spaces from the mathematic.
Using when you identify the concepts and the concept relations. So actually, you're using the knowledge graph construction, but I think besides the knowledge graph construction, ontology actually has very good function to building the kind of category of relationships. Relationships, if we using the ISO 704, is the principles how to building concept relation. Ontology help the kind of human understandable concept relation, hierarchy relationship, or social relationship, or part of whole relationship. You have to, so after concepts identification, you have to identify properties and relate concept category or concept relation, and then you are building the relationships. Knowledge graph is one way to building the relationship, but ontology is also more important, a foundation for a better knowledge graph for the relationship. That's based on the identify the category of concept relation belong to generic or belongs to part or whole, that kind of relationship or social relationship. Then that helps improving better interpretation and better connectivity interoperability. Yeah, I think this just the Professor Duan's model are really very good for particularly a consistent, coherent BC ontology continuum work. Thank you.
Okay, for your comment. Meaning is about the graph and the graph, the elements of the elemental.
When you're building the reprinting the relationships, I think it's also need to using a kind of ontology based presentation of relationships. So it's it's not just a graph structure, it's ontology-based relationships building. So that helps you just a better understanding the different types of when you see the concepts always consist of unified knowledge and also its distinct characteristics. So relationships it can just based on identified kind of features or characteristics. Yeah. So then ontology helps building the kind of axioms, how these relationships could be building. And so the graph structure is not so abstractive. It is based on more I think not one is logical. Ontology helps building a more logical graph structure, and another is harmonization of terminology and ontology and the data model and axioms, the representation information readable, understandable, interpretable. So that's from the consistency from the basic concepts to the representation by machine. At the moment, as I understand the logic graph structure, data information knowledge. So people think about the data, standards about data, the data elements description, or each data information knowledge. Maybe the objects are not the same even. So the graph building, when you're using the only emphasize ontology language, not emphasize ontology actually terminology based ontology, and actually the knowledge graph actually everybody has its own picture of a cat. That's what I mentioned. So how, if you think about ontology, then maybe this could be help. I will send a technical report about ontology to Professor Duran. It was a report about 12 standards developed organizations, projectors, conveners, or chairs. The presentation about different standards body, their ontology development. And that work has been done in 2020. We have an international virtual seminar, and that's a proceeding. I think that proceeding maybe can help you to, if you think about ontology development, maybe that could be helped to enhance or extending your usage. Thank you.
Okay. I can say in the Chinese, 做一些 interpreter 就是 the different rare have the different knowledge graph. So you mean? And if you have time, can you about the document and how to, but you give the comment I can I don't know how fix the
Since the term space is in, you actually mean the from the mathematical perspective, space of several dimensions. So readers may have questions. How many dimensions do you have in concept space, cognitive semantic space?
Professor Yu, I can hear your sound clearly.
我的声音有点小。这个
Yes.
space 它是说一个是它表示只是一个图，你的这个图，然后又叫 space 不太合适。
OK.
分析表示都是用图来定义的。
Save diagrams. 不知道是不是这里是这样一个。
就是我们定的一些标准是关于一个空间上，在我们数学表达上， 图这个东西，其实在抽象层这个概念的话，我们更倾向于它就是一个上的一种表达，就像我们认为，数据知识构成的对应的一种，它是一种空像知识上，比如说我们有些知识，它有些概念可能表达不一定完整的和在我看来的话，就是图只是它的一种抽象表达形式，但是我们本质还是空间，我们只是说用图这种结构来去表达，显得就是呃，我认为是在数学上的，或是在空间上的话，它可能就是进行一个视作一个图来进行一个处理和展示。我不知道段教授对这个有什么看法，就是关于争议解释和处理上。
Diagram for space. For diagram, it will be in something which is part of concrete displayable space, but space will be space will have less restriction.
So the definition of concept space, the high level concept is space. So maybe it is fine for you to also social space, physics space, digital space, or social system, digital system for smart city. The convergences, there are different way of thinking about either space or system. I think it is fine. However, you need to define what you mean by space at the very beginning, because different understanding of space.
Okay. I think because this is related to the target of this project, because space is a very fundamental project. Is that we targeted for the cognitive space of the human being and also for the machine. If we think they are really artificial intelligence, they will have a cognitive space, artificial cognitive space. And so the space basically is from we can evolutionary. It's the concepts and the operations on concepts and all the results which use which manipulated on the concepts, the results of the expressionable results will compose the concept space. So all the opinions and advices and try to can discuss for the next time, and we will this will all the comments will be provide the basis for next discussion. And for the space, yeah, cognitive. I think currently the definition is cognitive representation of concept in definitions, features, and relationships is expressed through language and symbols. This is could we work on this definition directly, like change it or even correct it?
I think the problem maybe is how do you define space at the very beginning?
Okay, so we can not definition. The space, by space we mean okay, the cognitive representation of concepts. Maybe with the we can add one word before the concepts, like composition. the concepts. Could you work on different understanding or not clear in terms of the understanding of the space? This is so.
I think it's not only concepts and concept relation are different. When you see the concept, just the LXO definition of a concept, I will write it, send to you, and you need its unit and with characteristics I'll send to you. So I think that concepts itself already included the definition of concepts already including its characteristics, but concept relations is another thing. So you need to cognitive representation of concepts and concept relation. I think that's important. Concepts doesn't actually reflect the relation. You need to identify the different concepts. Different concepts have different relation, but you are not only just concepts. The concept space need to represent its characteristics and its object. The concept relations. I think that's the concept space.
And the cognitive representation, like 8.1.1, the representation, the graph structure of the space. Okay. Can we specify the problem again? What's the misunderstanding? Now we need to narrow down to what causes the misunderstanding or what causes the inconsistent
I think
of this concept, because for me it's very clear because when we use three spaces, the first is cognitive space, the second is concept space, the third is semantic space. For this concept space, it's more like more related to knowledge diagram, because the concept is very clearly from the semantics of concepts. So we have the semantic space like machines, like machine learning is essentially semantic space. But for human beings, we use concept space and semantic space. But some concept space function for us the labels for the semantics.
Okay, so concept is reflection of humans' understanding, right?
Then it's a embodiment.
Okay, and
but we are working in the two spaces, the semantic space and also the concept space. So we have misunderstanding about the in some concepts, but it's really we referring to the semantics behind or bundled with the concepts.
Okay, I see the problem now. I think you can still stick to your model, but I will send a paper about one is semantic interpretability. I have studied so the definition of semantic interpretability, and also another is about ontology. That from the standards point, and then could see semantic also have different concepts from the concept, data model, and then so you can define I think your logic. If you make it consistent, that's okay, because at the moment that different people have different definition of a concept, ontology, and the semantic. One way is about actually ontology. Concept is a foundation of ontology. Concept is particularly we talk about terminology. Then ontology is the foundation for interoperability. Semantic actually cover both concept and ontology, data model, and also digitwin or even metaverse. They are all semantical elements or semantical relationships. So that depends on how you look at it. I think it's fine. Sorry to interrupt you, but I can send a paper to you, and then you can see extending your usage, particularly from standards perspective or standardization across domains usage. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. No, thanks, Professor An. Your advices are very helpful. And I would like to clarify with that we saw the problem is that the definitions of the concepts really causes the problem, because if the definitions are given by organizations or even by authorities, they will not reach the unified understanding. So we want in this project, actually we want to discard the mode of giving definitions for any concepts. That's why we use the word conceptualization. We in this I think here you make a mistake is that the definition. We will not make in the this is the elementary version of the standardization, but in the whole project, remove any definition is our starting point under the foundation of this project. We will not give any definition. We only use conceptualization, because we will work on the three spaces, like from the cognitive space to the semantic space to the conceptual concept space, but we will never give any definition for any concepts, and we will also not introduce any definition from or not from by selection. And this project is very exciting. Is that we start from the target of not giving any definition. No, Kong Guang, you cannot remove the definition here. I mean the definition as a pattern for this for this project. But this is a 1.0 version, so I think it's okay to start this version as the basis for initial practitioner stakeholders or practitioners. But we will update, and until for the version of this standardization for the 2.0, I think we will remove any definition. We will show the whole project. That I actually already wrote down the project in my Chinese science website. This problem is original. It's in the Wittgenstein's language problem or language game, and also related to the Chinese philosopher Laozi's in Chinese 道 非常道. Actually, we solved it. We will use that. We will introduce that to this. This in all it's elementary word, and also I would like to discuss with Professor An. You mentioned the stakeholders. That's very interesting. I would like to exchange ideas with you that should we include in the stakeholders also not only human being, but also machine side.
Thank you. I think stakeholders traditionally definition is only human But actually now in many ISO standards, we taking human and machine, the agent, including actors, actor actually including both human and machine, particularly human and machine collaboration. So particularly in AI environment, we could look machine as also a kind of stakeholder. You agree? I think this is really good idea.
Yeah, because you enlightened me to think about that. Because this we always talk about human machine interactions, and
Yes.
it's already become reality. And one of my PhD project, one of my PhD student is working on the human machine interaction.
Yeah, I think this is a very good point. And also, now we talk about standardization, smart standard. Smart standard is standard, machine, applicable, readable, and transferable. This is now a big actually standardization transformation going to digital. So from the PDF, digital content, and then the even the model and the knowledge creation, the whole standardization work. So I think your DIKWP-A is really useful for the smart standard development. So you have to think about the concept. Just the concept is quite more from terminology. You based on logic rather than language, because language is can changing according to different contexts and according to different culture. So I think one important standards is I will show you, but standard cannot be actually copyright issue international. But 704 is a standard for building the concept diagrams, concept relationships. So I think that is based on logical, is not based on language. The problem of terminology is traditional, is language based, but 704 is logic based. So I think this is very important. We need human understandable and machine also readable, interpretable, and transferable standard. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. That's very important. We share the whole project share with your opinion. 我用中文说一点，那个坤光你可能记不清这样的。我觉得根据交流，我觉得是这样的。这个里边，首先 stakeholders 里边一定要加上，至少加上，你现在可以加stakeholders 的地方。stakeholders 里边这个地方一定要加上，我觉得是加上你在前三个之前呢，再加一个小标题，就 researchers、engineers、developers， 这个可能还需要再加。但是呢，它是应该是两类，一类是 human being，
对，
这是不在那个 implications for stakeholders 下边分成两类，第一类是这个 human being， 然后再往下这地方就有很漂亮了，再往下这个地方可能会扩展，那么你就要再加上 machine side 或者说 machine side machine， 你就直接加个 machine 吧，先加 machine， 然后 machine side 的话，第一是 agents。就小括号半括号 agents， 然后呢，在安教授您看再加一些